Good evening. We'd like to call this meeting to order.
Adequate notice of this meeting was provided and published in the Asbury Park Press and the Ocean Star on January 12, 2024. Copies of the agenda were provided to the newspaper, posted on public bulletin boards and the Township website.
Thank you. Roll call.
Councilman Albanese. Councilwoman Pontorero. Councilwoman DeYoung.
Here.
Councilman Feynman.
Here.
Councilwoman Travers. Vice President Ambrosino.
Here.
President Minikino.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can I ask everybody to rise to salute the flag in a moment of silence? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, would you accept the reports from municipal officers?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. Can I get a motion and a second to approve the minutes from July 9th, 2024 meeting?
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Councilman Feynman.
Yes.
Vice President Ambrosino.
Yes.
President Minikino.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. And can I invite the mayor to the front, please? Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I would actually like to invite Sophia to come on up. We are honoring Sophia tonight in recognition of earning the Girl Scout Gold Award, which is the highest achievement in Girl Scouts. And we are in appreciation of all that you do for our community. We have had Sophia here previously, and she's been running a program through our senior center, and I'd like her to say a few words about what's been going on with that. So congratulations, we love to hear about it.
Hi, everyone. So, like Mary Creek said, my name is Sophia. I started a music engagement program over at the Brick Senior Center, which actually opened up in October of last year. I partnered up with the Mary Student Advisory, National Honor Society, some of those just students who were in my grade, younger grades, who wanted to get involved in our community. It is, how do I put this? It's no surprise that Brick has a higher amount of senior citizens. There are many facilities in our town. About 20% of our residents here in Brick are actually over the age of 65, and it is not all that uncommon for us for older individuals to face loneliness, which can lead to depression and in turn put them at a higher risk for dementia. So my goal was to get them engaged with each other, get out of the house, as a way to kind of prevent them from getting to that stage. I reached out to local businesses in the area, including the School of Rock, who provided live entertainment. The Chamber of Commerce was actually kind enough to let us use their building as a donation center to collect a bunch of musical instruments for our seniors to use during the sessions. We meet at the Brick Senior Center on the first and third Tuesday of every month from 1:45 to 2:30. It's a lot of fun. Our next session is actually August 6th. 1:45 to 2:30. Shameless self-promotion. Yeah, and just thank you to everyone who's gotten involved, my friends, my family, Devin Carrick, who has kind of helped me through all this, and Mayor Crate. This literally would not have been possible without you.
This is obviously a labor of love. Sophia, I know you were inspired by someone in your family to get this started, so just really quick about that so people kind of know where your heart is.
Yeah. So back in 2021, I lost my grandmother to Alzheimer's. And that was kind of what set me down on studying neuroscience and dementia as a whole. I'm actually going to college off in Pittsburgh to study neuroscience. Yeah, so that's kind of where it all started.
We're so proud of you. So proud of you.
Sophia, before you go, how many patches do you have on there? I was trying to count them. I couldn't count them. A lot. Okay. Good. Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. I got digits. Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations. And thank you again. This brings us to our consent agenda.
All matters listed under item consent agenda will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. If discussion is desired on any item, this item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately.
Thank you. 4-1, please.
Authorize award of contract for roadway improvements to Cherry Manor.
Councilman Feynman.
Thank you, Council President. This resolution authorizes the award of contract in the amount of $140,413.50 to Mako Inc. of Clarksburg for the roadway improvements to Sherry Drive project, including Lisa Drive, Princess Avenue, and Maria Court. The project generally consists of concrete curb and driveway aprons, reconstruction of curb ramps, full reconstruction of pavement, and general surface restoration. Bid notices were provided to 78 prospective bidders from our bidders list and 8 requested bid packages. 5 bids were received, with Meko Inc. being the lowest responsible bidder. Thank you.
Thank you. 4-2.
Authorize award of contract for roadway improvements to Emerson Street.
Thank you. Councilwoman DeYoung.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes the award of contract in the amount of $407,873.50 to Miko Inc., Clarksburg, for the roadway improvements to Emerson Street project, which is in Greenbrier 1, including Emerson Street, Central Boulevard, and Rogers Road. The project generally consists of roadway milling and paving, concrete curb and driveway aprons, reconstruction of curb ramps. Bid notices were provided to 78 prospective bidders from our bidders list and 8 requested bid packages. 5 bids were received, with Miko Inc. being the lowest responsible bidder. Thank you.
Thank you. 4-3.
Authorize award of contract to Workforce Ready UKG.
This resolution authorizes the award of contract in the amount of $112,295.42 with SHI International Corporation, Somerset. This contract is an annual maintenance and support of the Workforce Ready software used for time and attendance, employees' records, and payroll. Thank you. 4-4.
Authorize 2024-2025 consumption liquor license renewal, Dad's Bar Corp., trading as Arrowhead Inn.
Councilwoman Pontarera.
Thank you, Council President. This resolution authorizes the renewal of the plenary retail consumption license issued to Dad's Bar Corporation, trading as Arrowhead Inn on Highway 88. Thank you.
Thank you. 4-5.
5A is an inspection fund release for Block 169, Lot 27. B is an inspection fund release for Block 1068, Lot 27. C is a performance bond release for Block 109201, Lot 4.
Thank you. 4-6.
6A, 100% DAV widow, a veteran deduction of Block 211.17, Lot 4.
Thank you. This brings us to the end of our consent agenda. Can I get a motion in a second?
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. Open to council? Seeing none, close council. Open to public for questions on the resolutions only. Seeing none, close public. Roll call.
Councilwoman Pontarero.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Councilman Feynman.
Yes.
Vice President Ambrosino.
Yes.
President Menachino.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. And this brings us to our computer bill resolution.
Be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Brick that the following bills be paid and that the mayor and clerk be and are hereby authorized to draw orders on the treasurer for the amounts of the same. Computer bill resolution in the amount of $30,587,794.86.
Thank you. Can I get a motion in a second?
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. Open to council. Seeing none, close council. Open to public for questions on the computer bill resolution. Seeing none, close public. Roll call.
Councilwoman Pontarero.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Abstain Community Services, yes to the rest.
Councilman Feynman.
Yes.
Vice President Ambrosino.
Yes.
President Menachino.
Abstain Teamsters, yes to the rest. Thank you. This brings us to our manual bill resolution.
Be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Brick that the following bills be paid and that the mayor and clerk be and are hereby authorized to draw orders on the treasurer for the amounts of the same. Manual bill resolution in the amount of $2,180,760.41.
Thank you. Can I get a motion and a second, please?
Second.
Thank you. Open to council? Seeing none, close council. Open to public for questions on the manual bill resolution. Seeing none, close public. Roll call.
Councilwoman Pontoriero.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Councilman Feinman.
Yes.
Vice President Ambrosino.
Yes.
President Menachino.
Yes. And this brings us to reading on second ordinance, 5-1, please.
An ordinance of the Township of Brick, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 245 to establish requirements for maximum driveway width in R5 and R75 zones and to establish design and setback requirements for parking areas.
Thank you. Councilman Ambrosino, please.
Thank you, Council President. The Council's Land Use Committee recommended this ordinance to establish some rules regarding the width of driveways designated by curb cuts in an effort to ultimately create more on-street parking, especially in certain parts of town, such as the Barrier Island and mainland waterfront development. I think the benefit by having more on-street parking. The absence of these regulations has actually allowed some property owners to essentially create a driveway out of the entirety of the length of their lots, right? Causing no usable area along the right-of-way for parking. So what this ordinance does is it establishes a minimum and a maximum width for a driveway of 9 and 18 feet, and a minimum requirement of separation should there be two driveways on that property of 25 feet between both of those driveways, both of those. And if there is more than one driveway, all driveways have to be at no more than 18 feet in total in width. That's it. Thank you.
I need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Second.
Open to council. Seeing none, close council. Open to public. Yes, Ms. Cole.
Nan Call, 18 Greenbrier Boulevard. I don't recall seeing this for a first reading, which doesn't say anything because I've had a really bad year with a couple of falls, so I did miss some meetings. But I'd like to know what brought this up all of a sudden and that it should be a maximum of 25. Are there places that have a driveway that exceeds 25 now? And if so, what are they expected to do?
So that is what brought it up. Certain residences with a driveway that is effectively the width of their lot. And just to be clear, the maximum width of the driveway is not 25 feet, it's 18 feet, which is the width of a double wide driveway. The number of 25 is the minimum distance that is required if there are two driveways on that property. There must
The
be
number-
25 feet between them.
The number 25 is if there are two driveways?
That's right. That's the minimum distance between both of those driveways.
Between the
Both of the
two
That's correct.
driveways?
So that you could park cars there between both of those driveways. And the second question you had is, well, what happens now? So any existing driveways are grandfathered in.
They are
right?
grandfathered.
This only applies to applications for new driveway changes or new driveways and new developments.
And predominantly, where are the locations that started this whole ball
I
moving?
don't know if there's an assessment of what locations started it, but it's been noted that especially on the barrier islands, where often people don't have grass, maybe gravel in a front yard, there's been activity of effectively driving cars into all of that, kind of negating the ability for anybody else to park on the street.
I wonder if there'll be enough room for the homeowners to even park on the street.
Well, they'll have a
I
driveway,
haven't been
they'll
there
have
long
more
enough.
room, right?
That doesn't mean anything.
Thank you. Anybody else from public, please? On this ordinance?
Hi, my name is Tony. I live in Cedar Bridge Manor. I'm here, I'm mostly wondering, when you said the setback on the driveway, how far did you say the setback would be? Oh, okay, I wasn't sure. But parking is actually a reason why I'm here today. The park is beautiful, and we absolutely love the brand-new park that's in our neighborhood. It really is amazing. The problem is there is nowhere for any other visitors to park. Unfortunately, you know, there is a fire lane right there. It's on a bend that's very tight, that, you know, it's very hard to get by. Even if our mail ladies, you know, it's very hard to get by. There was an incident about 2 weeks ago now where people were completely blocked in at night past hours where they were not supposed to be at the park. They had open fires. There were a lot of incidents, and I have pictures from neighbors' cameras. They were parked in their driveways because they ran out of places to park while they were away and out of town. They were on their properties. They were on boats outside. The American Legion was able to see all of this happening. So parking is definitely a big issue in our neighborhood. God forbid someone were to fall on someone else's property, or someone gets hurt, or they had a fire going and you couldn't even get to the fire hydrant because the parking was so tight. So I'm just wondering what we would do in areas like my neighborhood, because we would like to enjoy the park also and safely be able to get out of my neighborhood, as it's a one-way in, one-way out. So if we're blocked in, we're blocked in.
Council President?
Yes.
Hi. So I just want to speak to that very briefly.
Absolutely.
We did have a neighborhood watch meeting, I believe it was 2 weeks ago, for
Yes.
Cedar Bridge Manor, and this was brought up at that meeting.
Okay.
Officer Berkeley spoke to it, and one of the things that he stated was that for anything, police should obviously be called.
Absolutely.
And they would want to come out and take care of that, but he is aware of the situation.
Okay.
And now is looking to monitor things like that to make sure that that hopefully does not happen again in
Thank
your
you.
neighborhood.
That would be
Yeah.
wonderful. I really do appreciate that. But as for the parking issue, though, you know, if we were to start moving around all sorts of driveways, I don't know if it would be helpful or hurtful. I don't know how we resolve
Driveways
outside
that are there now are
residents.
grandfathered in.
They're grandfathered in. Okay. I was just wondering because it's already as tight as it could possibly be, so I'm not sure how we would possibly make it any smaller. Thank you very much. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Anybody else from public on this ordinance? Seeing none, close public, roll call.
Councilwoman Pontarero.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Councilman Feinman.
Yes.
Vice President Ambrosino.
Yes.
President Menachino.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you. And this brings us to public comments.
Please note that each person addressing the council during any section of the meeting during which public comment is permitted shall limit his or her remarks to 5 minutes pursuant to Brick Township Administrative Code, Section 2-33B.
Thank you. Anybody from public, please? Yes, Mr. Sluka.
John Sluka, 950 Sylvia Court. I guess you got the letter about a week ago. Dear Mayor Craig, July 17th, Council President Vincent Menachino, all Brick councilmen and councilwomen, as well as the residents and workers of Brick Township and all of Ocean County, as well as the newspapers in the area. As mentioned, I will read most of the article if anyone hasn't had a chance to read the Brick Times of June 22nd, 2024 by Judy Smithstead Nunn. I have included most of this article in my letter. The article was titled Parkway Noise Worse for Neighbors and showed a photo of the area. Below, I've quoted the article without quotations. When Garden State Parkway was widened near Interchange 91, residents living in nearby condominium complex said the project had negatively impacted their standard of living and even their health. Part of the improvements of the roadway included creating a Danish basin in the median, which was clear-cut, and as a result, the homes of Evergreen Woods have been open to the noise and pollution from cars traveling in north and the southbound direction. Residents have advocated for a sound wall to mitigate the added sound and exhaust smoke coming from the Garden State Parkway. The community does not qualify for a sound wall because the criteria to build one has not been met and travel lanes were not moved closer, according to the New Jersey Turnpike Authority, to the homes, and a sound study determined that there was no additional sound mitigation needed. During the most recent meeting, a resident said the situation had gotten worse, and in Township employ all of its resources to research viable alternatives to mitigate both the noise and the visual pollution, and have the state government pressure New Jersey Turnpike Authority to correct the situation. At a prior meeting, Joanne Bergen reviewed how many emails, how many meetings, how many people we met with, and how many people lobbying we did over the last 10 years. She said that there is enough justification of the township, there is not enough justification for the township to continue to meet with the New Jersey Turnpike Authority when all options have been exhausted. Okay, that's basically 3/4 of their article. I guess anyone that wants to read the full article can do so by contacting the Brick Times at Micromedia Publications, and I hope there will be many more articles like this one. Only through constant pressure from the press and elected and non-elected officials with the residents of Evergreen Woods Complex, Primrose Garden, Greenbrier Senior Residential Area, Birchwood, Briar Mill Condominium, Brick High School, Town Hall, Lanes Mill School, and other areas in Brick and Ocean County help them breathe fresh air and clean air. The ill effects of those tiny particulates being sent through the air to our lungs from the Garden State Parkway will cause eventually bedridden lives and premature deaths to many of our seniors and our children waiting at the bus stops, the playgrounds, and the pools in the summer. Well, they will quietly suffer the ill effects of the toxins until the New Jersey Turnpike Authority commissioners correct the damage they have caused. Additionally, Mr. Ambrose addressed the issue related to the e-bikes, etc., on brick roadways, and I hope he could spend a couple of minutes explaining in front of the camera the reasoning and the expectation related to the increase in usage on the streets and the sidewalks of the township. Thank you for your time. Thanks for the Brick Times to even write this article, because it's far and few in between. Thanks for your time, John Sluka.
Thank you, Mrs. Anybody else? Yes, Ms. Cole.
Dan Carl, 18 Greenbrier Boulevard. I want to speak on the lack of good lighting on the roadways, the dangerous roads. Two things happened during this past week. One was that as I was going from Van Zyl to turn on to 88 to make a right turn, there was a sign about stopping and being careful of pedestrians, bicyclists, what have you. Well, there's hardly enough room to do that, and it's always been a really horrible situation. And it was about 11 o'clock at night, I think, that I happened to be there and making a turn and noticed that there were young fellas bicycling, and they didn't have enough room to bicycle, but they didn't have any other place to go to get around that corner. So that's one thing, and I think this has been brought up, at least by me, many times, that we really here in Brick are in desperate need of attention to our roadways, the signage. That was mentioned in some article I read about the signage and to beware of the signs. There were a lot of areas that have changed, whether the street goes straight, whether the street shifts a little bit to one side or the other, where they made, on Van Zyl, they made a turning lane out of the left lane, and the right lane therefore becomes for right turns and straight traffic, and it's not enough. The cars making the U-turn to go from Van Zyl and where the church is, or Kentwood, I think that's 70, not positive. And that is no longer an adequate area. The cars pile up on that turn to come around and have to make the left turn. It's absolutely awful. My name for Brick Township is now GAB, God Awful Brick. And it's only through the grace of God that any of us really survive it. And another part of what has long been a very difficult situation, at about 11 o'clock Saturday night, I got a phone call. Now, I happen to be a night owl. I have a son in Colorado. He's a night owl, and I thought it might be him. But no, it was Brick Township telling the people, the robot is saying, avoid the area of 70 and Burnt Tavern Road. That area had a fatal accident quite a number of years ago. It has had a monument there to the young fellow that died in that accident. He was riding a bicycle, I believe. I remember riding on that road in the afternoon and in the evening, and then coming that evening to a town council meeting and saying, you really need to do something about it. And I do believe that that's within Brick Township. And you're all going to say, well, that's not your job. It is. Nothing gets done unless everybody who represents we, the people, stand up and show us that you are representing us properly. If you ride on Van's Isle all the way, Burnt Tavern Road, if you ride beyond Maple Avenue, you will notice that there is a big island of grassy area separating the two lanes of traffic, or the two directions of traffic. Each of those have 2 lanes. That is the way all of those roads should be, but most of them just have the Jersey barrier or no barrier, and they are dangerous. And you really need to start having town council meetings and finding out what's upsetting the people who live in Brick and why we're disgusted with it. Does anybody know what happened at 70 and Burnt Tavern late Saturday night? I don't get the regular newspapers. I read sometimes on the Patch, but I didn't see any notices about it. I wondered if it was another fatal accident at that intersection. And I think you need to start dialoguing with us, the people who are living here, and finding out what problems are we having. They're numerous.
Council President?
Yes.
There was a Nixle alert that went out from Brick Township Police Department.
Ms. Bergen, is your microphone on?
Oh, it is. You can't hear me?
Couldn't hear
A Nixle went out at 11:22 Saturday night asking residents to avoid the area of Route 70 and Burnt Tavern Road due to a motor vehicle crash. I can confirm that this was not there was no fatalities involved, but the proper notification went out to the township residents.
Thank you. Anyone else from public? Yes, Mr. Brill. Go ahead.
I'll go first. Twisted my arm back here. Hello, Rob Canfield, 423 Malibu Way. It's been a while. I think pre-COVID I was here last. So anyway, I wanted to come with an issue today because aside working from real estate, I also work now in firearms dealing. As an employee, I'm not the actual dealer. And an issue I keep hearing at the range all the time comes out of this township, unfortunately. So lately, I don't know what's been going on. Maybe someone here can address it. But it seems that the permits to purchase FID cards have been taking more than 30 days. The problem I have with that personally is, yes, I am also waiting on a permit, so if someone can sign it for me real quick, please, thanks. New Jersey state law actually says since December of 22 that the investigating authority does have 30 days to issue. I came to the window the other day, I handed in my $25 to Casey, and she deserves a raise for dealing with people like me, by the way, so please put that in the notes. She deserves a raise. Her first words to me with kind of a sullen tone was, it's going to be about 3 months. That's not legal in New Jersey. It's 30 days. So I understand things happen, things get backed up. I don't know what the problem is from behind the curtain. I can tell you what I've heard, that the chief will sign it when he's in on Fridays, but that's about it. There's no provisions that says if we're backed up, we can take more than 30 days. So I'm here today to ask you guys, can we take a look at what's going on? Can we see maybe, is there something you can do in the law? Counselor, you know better than me. That we can allow maybe a captain or a lieutenant to be able to step in to sign those in his absence, or why this is taking so long. So I did an Oprah request. There's maybe 400, probably closer to 300 that are still outstanding. If you sit there, it's all computer now. It takes 3 seconds to click through a bunch. If you work at it, you can definitely get those done in 30 days or less. But I would like to bring that to everyone's attention here because you may not know. It is shall issue in 30 days, and there's no provisions otherwise. So if we can look into, can we get this rolling? A lot of guys are complaining, and I mean, my guys aren't, but we have a safe full of people waiting for those permits to come in so we can clear that out and get more people in. So does anyone have an, I don't know, am I allowed to ask if anyone has an
Ms. Berg?
answer, procedure, anything?
So we'll look into the complaint and we'll
Okay.
address it. And I just want to clarify, the chief is not only in on Fridays. He may choose to just review.
Oh, no.
Let me finish, please.
Oh, yes,
Thank
sorry.
you. He may choose to review permit applications on Fridays, but
Yes.
he's here every day. So I just want to clarify that because that was
Yeah.
kind of misspoken.
Sorry,
But we'll look
that-
into it and we'll revisit with you.
That was me. I meant to say apparently he only signs on Fridays. So yes, thank you
He's a
for that
busy guy.
clarification.
Yeah.
I can tell.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I have. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Brill.
Stephen Brill, Evergreen Woods. The following is the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection mission statement. For over 50 years, the DEP has made New Jersey a stronger, fairer state by protecting our environment and public health. To protect environmental quality and public health, New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection also states it will listen to all sides. The DEP never asked the homeowners of Evergreen Woods for their opinions, nor was it transparent and honest with the public. Again, the DEP did not study the impact of forest removal on residential communities. The DEP's ability to achieve its goals and operate effectively depends on its staff and resources. Together, we will help New Jersey protect its environment, promote the health of its citizens. That is the fantasy. Whereas the environmental impact statement concerning milepost 91 southbound in Evergreen Woods Park. The reality is that the Department of Environmental Protection, Division of Parks and Forestry State Forest Service would rather cash a check for $4,590,000 from the New Jersey Turnpike Authority than fulfill its mission to protect the public. I must also admit my error that approximately 17 acres of forest was removed. In fact, 76.5 acres of forest was removed by the New Jersey Turnpike Authority according to their reforestation monetary compensation form for the shoulder widening project. The New Jersey NJTA admitted in the document it was established forest. The NJTA proposed acreage reforested on site, 0 acres. The NJTA contact person was Michael Grant, PE, and the report was prepared by Dewberry. Within that report are alleged photos of the affected areas. On page 9 are photos of milepost 91 and milepost 90.9 southbound. That's the detail. Neither photograph should have been submitted and the report should have been rejected. Both photographs are of unbelievably poor quality such that nothing recognizable can be discerned. The NJDEP knew that the environmental damage would continue past the completion date of the NJTA shoulder widening project. The following is an email from Dave Johnson, Regional Forester at the NJDEP. I've been asked to respond to your email concerning fallen trees along North Loop Street as a result of tree removal along the Garden State Parkway. I agree that thinning stands of trees can often lead to remaining trees being more susceptible to failure. The term wind throw is often used to describe such an event. It may be prudent to have a New Jersey certified tree expert examine the situation and make recommendations as to the structural integrity of the remaining trees. He continues to say that I should contact the New Jersey Turnpike Authority. That email was dated July 30th, 2013. On July 11th, 2024, a tree crashed into a car parked along the Garden State Parkway border with Evergreen Woods Park. This is not the first incident of the Garden State Parkway trees crashing onto North Loop Road. As a result of this incident, many additional trees were felled by the New Jersey Turnpike Authority. The New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection and New Jersey Turnpike Authority have engaged in an ongoing conspiracy that endangers the residents of Evergreen Woods Park. Brick Township's elected representatives must insist that the State Attorney General's office investigate this incestuous relationship between these two public entities. Brick Township must demand $2,873,626 monetary compensation for the Evergreen Woods Park homeowners adversely impacted by the resulting loss of property value, increased noise. This base amount was calculated by 42 affected homes multiplied by the maximum amount per unit for a sound barrier for a total of $2,100,000, and adding inflation from 2012 for a total of $2,873,626. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brill. Anybody else from public, please? Yes, sir.
Bob Manliano, Cedar Bridge Manor. About the park and stuff like that. The park, are we working on the cameras still, or what's the situation with that? Are we getting this year, or when we? Mm-hmm. Okay. The second thing is, we were robbed about a week ago. So I just want to, Brick PD did a great job on getting the whole thing with the cameras and stuff like that, and we caught the guy. But the problem with Brick PD is they're short-staffed. They didn't have the guys to come out right away when the people were doing what they were doing. They had a lot of calls that day, and I feel that Brick PD needs more people. See, this is not really a town. It's more or less into a city, as many people are here now. So I think you guys maybe should reconsider with the budget and put a few more men on where they can actually, help the people around here, because they're running ragged. I mean, they really are. So just a suggestion for that. The other thing is, I own a business in Brick, and I'm trying to move my business in Brick to a different area on Drum Point Road, which is Robinson's Garage. There's a lot of trouble there. I'm trying to straighten it out to get that place up and running and clean the place up. It's a disaster, and I know it is, but I'm willing to put every effort that I can do with no restrictions to get there and put the place together, paint the building, and make it look good for Brick. So I'm trying to get on board where somebody will actually step up and say, do what you got to do and make it look good. So I don't know what I got to do this, but we had conversations in the past, but I need this place to go because where I'm at, we outgrew it. I'm trying to make it really presentable for Brick.
I'm surprised to hear that you're asking to be notified of what you need to do, because I've articulated to you that very clearly, and also the folks that you've had call me on your behalf, I've articulated it to them as well, what you need to do. So
You're
if
restricting
I'm going to finish my sentence,
Okay,
because I let you finish yours. If you have a proposal for that site,
Mhm.
I've asked you not to hire an architect or an engineer or an attorney, but to sit and draw out what you intend to park and where, how
Mhm.
many spots will be for repair, how many spots will be for sale. We'll have the conversation with you, but a general approval of a site that doesn't have that approval is not going to happen.
But there is approval, because it's been like
There's
this.
not approval with the motor vehicle sales license, and that's what you
Without the
want.
sale, yes, I understand that, but the parking that's been there and the way the place is, you know, used, I want to keep it that way, you know what I mean?
Without the motor vehicle sales license?
I'm
Have at it.
I can?
You
And
can
then
make
do
a
the motor
purchase-
vehicle license further down the road?
The motor vehicle sales license is not going to happen without the things that I've already articulated to
Okay.
you several times.
So there's not an issue if I go over there and make everything work?
Well, we have to see what you're proposing. I can't say this clearly enough.
No, I'm just
He
saying,
doesn't have approval
without
for-
the license.
Whatever he does not have the approval for, you're not going to have the approval for.
Right.
Until you can articulate what you're asking the town to approve.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else from public, please? Seeing none, close public. Mrs. Bergen? Mayor?
Thank you. I just wanted to thank everyone who came out to enjoy our Summerfest season with us this year. We had 3 great bands. We started out on July 4th with Super Trans Am, where we had what I think is probably a record crowd. It was estimated that we had, between the beginning and end of the show, around 17,000 people, so that was huge. We also had Garden State Radio for our second week, and then we had a new band come, Aftershock, for our last week, and I think they were a big hit. So we look forward to bringing you Summerfest again next year. We will be back to 4 Thursdays next year, but we appreciate everyone's patience this year, as the 4th of July was kind of pricey, you know, and we wanted to be fiscally responsible. So, but I think everyone had a great time, and I do want to take a moment to say a big shout out and thank you to our recreation department, our parks department, our police, our EMS, fire department, and our lifeguards who worked throughout all 3 of those concert series. And I also want to do a quick shout out to our CERT team. That is our volunteers from the public that come out to assist with things like crowd control and checking bags and things like that. So they are in need of volunteers. So I just wanted to let you know that we did do a great conversation with the head of CERT. So you can look for that on our website. And also, if you'd like to get information about how you can join CERT, get some great free training, and help your town out, you can call 732-262-1167 or go on their Facebook page. It's Brick Township CERT, and get some more information that way. So shout out to everyone. And also, I believe we had some record 50/50 sales. I think that had to do with Ms. Bergen here, and also Councilman Albanese. And honestly, he couldn't have done it without me. So, but we did. We raised a ton of money for our TNR, which is a great program that we have here in Brick as well. So kudos and congratulations to anyone who won the 50/50. The first night it was $2,400. The winner took home $2,400. So it was not chump change. And then the last 2, I think it was a little over $1,300. So congratulations to everyone. But the summer is not over, and we still have good fun times coming your way. So on Thursday, August 1st at Windward Beach, we are going to have our annual car show. Hundreds of cars of all different makes, models, and years. People are showing them off, and lots of awards are given out. So please come check us out at Windward Beach on August 1st. That starts at 6 o'clock. And then our Traders Cove concert series starts up the following week. So Wednesday, August 7th, we have Strictly 60s. On Wednesday, August 14th, we have the Basso Brothers, and on Wednesday, August 21st, we have a new band, Kick and Wing. I think they're going to be great. Just like Aftershock, our new band for Summerfest was fantastic. I feel like Kick and Wing is going to be great as well. So I hope to see you out at some of these fun events, and have a great night.
Thank you. Mr. Starkey?
I have nothing tonight.
Thank you. Madam Clerk?
Nothing, thank you.
Madam Secretary?
Nothing.
Councilwoman Pontareri?
Thank you. I just want to give a big thank you to Hackensack Meridian Health, our hospital in Brick. For the past week and a half, they have been taking care of me on and off because my history of cancer, it takes a lot of work to keep me alive. So God bless all the doctors and the nurses at that hospital for allowing me to recuperate. I also want to remind everyone we still have many, many children in foster care in Brick who need homes. You can volunteer to be just a vacation home for a week. You can volunteer to just be a respite home to give a foster family a break for a few days. There are over 300 children in our town. If you have it in your heart to house one of our littlest innocent victims of child abuse and domestic violence, then call 1-800-NJ-ABUSE and put your name in and say, yes, I'd like to volunteer. All of the training is free. All of the process takes about 9 months. So it's doable, and anyone can do it. You don't have to be married. You don't have to be a certain age, just over 18. But please give these little ones a chance at a good life. It's not their fault. They are where they are. And I think we all can make a little bit of room for someone else to love in our homes. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman DeYoung.
Thank you. I just want to mention another event. We have National Night Out, which is going to be on Tuesday, August 6th at 6 o'clock at Windward Beach Park. This is where we have big bounce houses and rock climbing walls and all kinds of stuff for the kids. We also have our police camp is graduating that evening, so it's really, really fun to watch the cadets graduate and go through their little ceremony and everything, as well as we have our DPW does touch a truck. There's some garbage trucks and street sweeper and all kinds of stuff that lines up for kids to take a look at, as well as different organizations from around the town we have that you can visit. You can talk to our CERT, all our emergency vehicles are out, the motorcycles, the big what is that thing called? Mass casualty truck. And it's just really, really neat to just be able to go on the different rigs and the fire trucks and everything and talk to our emergency professionals. So that is August 6th, starting at 6 o'clock at Windward Beach. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Councilman Feynman.
Thank you, Council President. I also want to talk about some upcoming events. So at the Public Library in Brick, excuse me, every Thursday is Mahjong open play. I don't play Mahjong. I don't know how to play it, but it seemed like pretty cool. You know, yeah, maybe I'll go. So it's from 12 to 2 every Thursday. And if you're new to it, it's okay. Just go there and they're going to show you the ropes. So maybe I'll see you there, all right? For the younger crowd, Shark Week story time, ages 2 to 5 on Friday, July 26th, from 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. So celebrate Shark Week with stories and a craft. That seems more my speed than Mahjong. Also on Tuesday, July 30th, another cool event, the library, NJ Snake Man is going to be there. It's a live animal show, and it seems pretty cool. They have all sorts of snakes and other reptiles. You know, I'm not a big snake fan. A snake is like a titan of terror, if you ask me. Registration is required for that event, so, you know, pay attention to that if you're interested in going. Otherwise, stay safe and have fun. Thank you.
Thank you. You're more of a kitten kind of guy.
I think Councilman Feynman has followed NJ Snake Man on tour.
Yeah. Council Vice President Ambrosino.
Thank you. Not a lot from me. I just would like to congratulate again Sophia on her Gold Award for Girl Scouts. That was fantastic. Very well-spoken young lady. I think she reflects fantastically on our town. And I'd also just like to echo the mayor's sentiments about the wonderful series of Summerfest events that we had this year. And I'd give the same kudos to everybody in town. Again, record turnout, tons of people. gets hot, lots of big crowds, but still, I think we had a fantastic event. I'm always so pleased to see how well everyone behaves, how courteous everyone is to one another. It's easy getting out afterwards. Everybody behaves orderly and whatnot. I think that's really fantastic, so I'm looking forward to the Traders Cove events throughout August. That's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you. And the next council meeting will be August 13th, 2024, 7 o'clock here. Can I get a motion and a second to adjourn?
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.